Do you see that actual thing that I wrote on my Instagram was because naturally in the dance industry, you're a female, you're already tagged, you're a female dancer rather, you're already tagged Ashewo first. Is already there. Me, at home, before they even knew that I was dancing, there was already some form of she did this, she did that, some judgments and all of that. So the Ashewo was just a word that I used to box every other thing together. Right? It was Ashewo, failure, a disappointment. You can never amount to anything. You okay. I just had to use that word because people can relate to that one.
Yeah.
That's why I had to use that word. It was a phrase of different things that people had called me in my journey.
That just felt like you just did yoga.
As a therapist, we have all our methods.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Roddie Law. So is that like law or?
Yeah, it's Rodiah Lawal Law. So the law, I'm just like, okay, I can't have two laws and then Roddie. Let's just merge it together and make it Roddie Law.
Nice. Where are you from?
I'm from Oyo State.
Ah, okay. Because that law kind of sound like Lagos.
No.
Okay. So have you been? What have you been up to?
Good.
Yeah.
I've been, if I'm to put it in one word, I would say I've been holding it on. Like, I've been holding on. Yeah. I've just been holding on. Been holding on. That's it.
I would like you to share with me one moment or one breakthrough that really brought you joy, fulfillment.
That brought me joy and fulfillment. I think I have quite a number of them.
Okay.
Yeah, and the one that I would say really brought me joy that I literally cried was when I got the interview, to start teaching dance as a subject.
Okay.
That's what I've always wanted to do. So when I got the job interview, or should I say my offer letter, interview, you still shaky, like, has it gone through, has it not gone through? But when I got the offer letter and I'm like, oh, this is serious, I should resume immediately. I'm like, okay, now it's here. And it was so, so much joy because I believe in, making a sustainable living doing what you love. So if what you love is not giving you that joy, that fulfillment and excitement and everything, then you should do something else. So when I got that offer letter that you're resuming, like, oh really, God, have you done it? Is this it? Oh my Jesus, thank you for that. Like, yeah, it was really exciting.
So you applied for it or?
So it was divine. Just got a call from a friend. The friend said, okay, we went somewhere to go and teach something, and they told them that they needed, a dance teacher. And she said she was going to refer me to them. And I was like, okay. So when she told me she was referring me, she said they needed this thing, that there's an opening, vacancy, and all. And I was like, okay. So I applied. Thinking it's going to be one of those things again, like, okay, they're just going to call you to come and teach dance like you've always done, extracurricular activity, And my focus is not extracurricular activity anymore. I've done that for years, So I just wanted to make it much more important. Let's make it a classroom subject, so that people will find it more. They can understand the other benefits that he has to offer, So, so I got the call from that friend. She told me about it. So I sent my CV to the email. And then it wasn't even up to, I think it was 3 months later that they now called me. I sent my CV in probably like June. By September, I was called to resume immediately.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how's the journey of trying to make dance important like law?
The journey has been a roller coaster. I won't lie to you. I'm just going to put it out straight. It's been extremely tough and challenging. That's just the word to use. It's been really, really tough. And the reason it's tough is because I'm doing it alone. And I'm not afraid to do it alone. I am just afraid to burn out and want to give up. Because now only my dream, now only me know say I won't use dance to be important, to be this, to be that, and all of that. Not everybody sees it that way, you know. Except when I did my interview and the principal of the school was saying, you know what? He was saying the things that I've always had in mind for dance. I've always looked at dance from other point of view, aside just fun and entertainment. That's what people hear and see dance for. That's what people know dance for. They hear dance and they're like, oh, fun, entertainment, shake bum bum, shake body, and all of that. It's been extremely tough because I'm having to build from the scratch. I'm having to trust my instincts. I'm pushing this thing. I'm saying that dance is there. I'm living my dream. Basically, I'm living my dream. This is what I've always wanted to do. You know, people that did not believe in me before would see it and see that how much did they teach for your British International School, really, and all of that. So I had a lot to prove. Because I now have a lot to prove, it was draining my joy. It was draining my energy. It took more from me than an average dancer that would just want to just come and dance and just be there, you know. So I had moments of joy, moments of sadness, moments of coulda, woulda, shoulda. You know, I had moments of, are you sure this is really what you want to even do, Sir? You know what, you just quit, you know. But I would not deny the fact that I experienced joy with it. I will not deny the fact that it was fulfilling for me. You know, I've always loved to be relatable with people. I have my story. You know, I don't know if we're going to get to share, but I have my personal story, my background, the things that are fueling my passion, that's making me want to actually be like this, you know. So I won't lie, I had the moments of joy, but there are moments of sadness, moments of, are you sure? Moments of beating my fingers and biting myself and be like, really?
What
Roddy,
moments
really?
what moments are you in now?
Okay, so now I'm in the moment of sadness, find joy. Yeah. I'm in, go back to your drawing board. Go back to the reason you started in the first place. They said, if you, what's that word? If you want to give up, think about why you started, right? Now I'm thinking about why I started.
Why did you
Maybe I
start?
can derive joy from that again. And then, so in the midst of the whole, you know, emotions and am I sure I want to do this and all of that, I could just see a child say, Miss Roddy, I don't understand this. And the point when I'm explaining to the child and I'm enlightening the child, opening the child's brain on making the child understand what I'm trying to explain, I just feel some form of joy. So in the midst of the whole thing, I still try to find joy in it. Yeah.
So you said something about like remembering what drew you to this thing. Could you like pinpoint the reasons?
So it's like understanding my why,
Yeah,
like
your
going
why.
back to my drawing
Yeah.
board and all of that. Yeah, growing up wasn't the best experience ever, you know. I would say categorically that I don't have a childhood, you know. So I had different phases. There was a time in my life where I had to leave from living with my dad. I think I only lived with my dad for like how many years was that? 9 years, I guess, you know, and then had to move from there to another person's house. That was my sister. And then from there, I had to move again to, you know, friend's house and all of that. So growing up wasn't all that easy for me. And I don't like to use the word before, but I think I'm grown now and I understand life better. I was an abandoned child growing up. I was that child that people do not really see coming. I'm that child that, when they just sideline you, especially because I came from a background of a man that had different wives. So my mom was the second to the last, and I would say that I've never seen my mom and my dad together in the house. Never, ever. I've not seen my parents together ever, right? So I had to stay with my dad. I don't know where my mom was. I don't know what happened between them. I don't even know if they ever got married or anything. Oh, this for the first time on camera. So I never knew what happened between them, what transpired, how the whole thing happened. But I just realized that, I just know, it's not like I realized, I just know that I didn't grow up in a loving family. I had siblings that are not my mom's children. I had just half blood. That is half sisters, half brothers. I was the only one that my mom had for my dad. So my dad was an allergy, was an allergy. So, all these, their belief of they can marry as many wives as they can. So he had 5 wives.
Wow.
Yeah, he had 5 wives. I had other siblings that I was living with in the house. So you can imagine your mom is not there in the house with you. You're young. You're as young as the age that I remember when I left the house I was 9. Right. So all the periods before 9 is a young child. Right. So all the periods before 9, I was living with them. And I had moments when they wanted to kill me. Yeah. I can
Who wanted to kill
remember
you?
my stepsisters, stepbrothers, even the stepmothers, because one of them was living in the house at that time. So I had moments when they just wanted to throw me, because we're living in a what do they call it? 1-story building, yeah. So they wanted to throw me from the building down to the floor. I wasn't just catered for, basically. I was that errand girl that everybody sends on a message, on an errand, and all of that. I remember, let's get into it. Series and moments of abuse from different people, from gatesman to school teachers to this one to that one. So there's been a lot of moments like that in my life from as I can remember opening my eyes till I was 9 when I left that house. It's been from one phase, from one abuse, from one disappointment moment. I was mentally, I don't even know how to put it, mentally screwed, as a child. I didn't have a childhood, trust me. I do not have it. I didn't have moments when I was now playing with people, or I had toys, or they now made my hair and all of that. I've been washing my clothes since I was as little as 9, as little as 6, 5, 4, there was a point in my life when I was hawking. I was hawking for my stepmom, and nobody knew. Nobody really they knew, but of course, she's the errand girl. That's what she should be doing, So all of those moments in my life, a child that I don't know what God was doing with my life, right? But all of those moments in my life, I saw it as a learning curve. I don't know how I got to see it as a learning curve, because naturally I could have seen it as a victim and every day, and there's something, but I was that child that I'm always picking lessons from it. This one abused me today. I would sit down and think about it and be like, what should I have done differently? I couldn't tell anybody. I could not tell anybody, right? So all of those phases in my life was what always comes to play in my head. Whenever I sit down by myself, I just look at myself and I'm like, there are tons of other girls and other children that are going through the same thing that you're going through, but they don't have anybody to tell. The same way I don't have anybody to tell, the same way I don't have anybody to talk to. I was living with siblings, with families that I could have told, I could have confided in, but I can't. Because
Why?
some of them are even perpetrators. They are part of it. You can imagine a stepmom that wants to throw you from a story building. Is she the one you want to go and tell that a boy touched your breasts? You think she will not tell you that, what did you go and do there? What did you go and do this? And all of that. Or is it your brother that sent you to go and get a condom? Yes, I'm going to say it now. Is it your brother that sent you to go and, your step brother that sent you to go and get a condom at the age of 6 years old? That you want to go and tell that a boy touched your bum bum? Do you understand? So all of these things fueled my passion, and I know it was just God trying to channel the energy to, thinking about learning curve, thinking about helping others, because I could have just ended it and be like, you know what, I'm not doing it. Yeah, I had moments when I wanted to end it actually, but we'll get there. So all of those things made me think every time that, you know what, Roddy, in this community that you're in, there are so many girls that are going through this same thing that you're going through, and they don't have anybody to tell. I need you to be that person that they will be telling. I need you to be that person that is going to help them. You didn't grow up in a loving family. You will be the channel to love for people. You didn't grow up, you grew up with your mind screwed. When you see anybody that needs help with their mind being screwed, you have the experience. You are to help them. That's the reason I do this. That's what I always draw back to. And I remind myself of my why. Why did you say you want to do this? Oh, this child in this place is going through a family crisis at home. That's why the child is not reading as much as he's supposed to be reading for him to get this score. What do? Try to help this child to understand, how to balance what's going on at home and what the child needs to know. Help the child find a balance. Help the child, just be there for the child. Always make sure that the child is. I'm taking a course right now, and the course is about safeguarding. It's about how to be like a one-on-one, how to be one-on-one with a child. You want to be that child that, people that students, that you want to be that teacher or that individual. You don't have to be a teacher. You could be a cleaner at your workplace, but you want to be that human that children can always come to and be like, so my brother slapped me. What do I do? Should I slap him back or I should kill him? And you're like, no, you don't kill. You're a child of God. You're this, you're that. And that child will listen to your voice and not do what they initially want to do, Is one of the reasons I do this. Yeah.
And that's where you found the intersection of artistry and healing.
Yeah.
How do you see the importance of that?
My parents wanted me to be, not my parents, my families. I just talked about, my parents. I really didn't live with them. So I don't have my parents say it's family. That's my sisters and her children. They want me to be a nurse. And then just to put it out there, I did nursing for over 10, 13 or 12 years. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I was living with her for that long. So since that age 9 till I was 21. Calculating it, that would be like how long now? Yeah, don't worry. So I lived with her, and she owns a clinic.
Okay.
So in the clinic, of course, I know how to give injections. I know how to give drip. I know how to even delivery, how to deliver a child. I learned all of that. I know how to prescribe drugs and all of that. So they told me to go to nursing school. But that's not what I'm passionate about. Whenever I'm helping those people in the clinic, I'm happy, but I don't see myself doing it for long. And because the pressure was there that naturally I would have been an art student, but I was a science student because that's what they chose for me to do. When I got to SS1, they were the ones that filled my form. She's choosing chemistry, biology, she's choosing physics, she's going to do further math, she's going to do this. Left to me, myself, if I had my way and my life and my childhood by myself, and I could speak for myself, I would have picked history, literature in English, and every other subject that is art related. But because, you know, I was living with them, I don't have a choice. I have to go by their tune, right? So I had to do science. All of those creative side of me, I didn't let it die whilst I was still doing nursing that I wasn't interested in. So growing up, having to go to university, this is my creativity, this way that I am. And this thing that I feel whenever I'm dancing, as young as I was
The
then,
healing.
you know, I want to put them together and see what is going to come out of it, you know. So when I got to university, I went to represent my school. I studied pharmaceutical technology in school, in case you don't know. That was my HND.
Which school?
Moshood Abiola Polytechnic.
Oh, okay.
And you know, Moshood Abiola Polytechnic is very big on socials. A lot of all these, Mobad was a Mapite. I knew him from school, you know. So lifestyle of a resi. We used to dance together back then. You know, we had a crew. So we're doing pharmacy. I'm supposed to be in science faculty. I'm always in mass comm. I'm always in mass comm. That's how I would have met all these people. You know, I'm always in mass comm. Long story short, I was able to understand how I feel whenever I'm dancing and how creative I was whenever like my personality, like a creative personality and how unique, you know, I do my own things. So merging both of them together was what gave me that, you know, that idea about dance therapy. I didn't even think about dance therapy until one time in my life when I had a huge roadblock. Before then, there was a lot of pressure on me. My brain was always thinking about, I can't sit down with a guy and I'm not fidgeting and I'm not afraid of, you know, what's next this person is going to do to me or something, you know. So I had to seek therapy. I had to literally look for counselor, got contacts of people that I can call and talk to, professional help, you know, because I remember at some point, if I was feeling a certain way, I listen to music and I feel good, but it got to a point where it wasn't working. Or if I'm feeling a certain way, I just try to do some dance to the favorite music that I love. It wasn't working anymore because now I have to as a female, I have to get something, I have to do this, I have to make money, I have to do that, I have to do that. So the pressure was so much, I had to seek therapy, I had to seek professional help. So in my process of seeking help from a professional, I realized the way this person was talking. I realized the way this person was not judgmental. This person was talking to me to understand my point of view in everything that I'm talking about. I will tell you for a fact that every time I talk to somebody about what happened, like an abuse that I went through or something that I've gone through, they throw questions back at me like, so you too, why would you do that? And it makes me feel like, it's not me that did it. I found myself in a situation. I can give you scenarios right now and we will not even live here, you know. I found myself in situations like that. What would you have me do in a situation like this? Instead of trying to understand my point of view, people judge. They throw questions at you and you start looking at yourself like, I made myself, maybe make I for no go this event.
Start blaming yourself.
I start blaming myself, you know. So this person was talking to me. This person was not judgmental. It was trying to understand.
Why?
And
how?
as he was talking to me, I had so much to say. I was just purging out. I was just like, oh yeah, yes, so yes, so this, so that, so that. And I felt some form of relief. For the first time, and my brain was a bit calm. So I thought about it that whenever I'm dancing, I feel a certain way, right? And what if I merge, you know, talking to people and also, you know, dance is the best form of expression ever, you know, is the best form of expression. And I thought, if I add this, the way this person was talking to me, I was picking the methods, the way they were doing the whole thing. They were not judgmental. They made you speak. Like, you were so free to say a lot of things that you've never even said, things that is only you and your diary and God that knows about. You could say it, I thought about it, that what if I infuse this in how I feel with dance, and merge it together. That was how I was able to think about dance therapy. Like, okay, actually, you can talk to people whilst they are moving their body, whilst they're doing the head movement. You're talking about how you can use how you think about moments in your life. Think about how to hold those moments. Think about releasing those moments. Think about folding on inside of you. I started thinking about that, and I'm like, okay, yeah, this is something we can do. This is something I can, merge together. And that's how I was able to intercede and look at it and be like, we can do dance and be creative with it, and also bring out healing from this dance. Because of course, when you're doing contemporary dance, you can make somebody that is not part of your story feel the tears that you were feeling when you were creating the story, right? Then we should be able to do this thing with therapy. That's how I was able to measure it.
That's therapy. Interesting. So all this while you've been able to like channel this knowledge to artists, to students who have come for your session. You have a session called Sweat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So have you, in a way, can you say for sure that you have found healing for yourself?
I wrote this thing down a while back when I was in my healing process, because I realized that we're still on.
Yeah.
We're still on here. Because I realized that you're responsible for your joy in this life. Nobody can really truly help you heal. No therapist can help you heal, right? You're responsible for your healing process. You can't drive a parked car, right? You have to accelerate, you have to turn on the engine, you have to do this, you have to do that. Once the engine is turned on and all of those things, then you can start driving, right? So as a human being, you have to not stay stuck, not stay parked. You have to try and find your healing. Be responsible for your own joy and all of that. So what I want to read is, I got to realize that grief doesn't ever get lighter. We just get used to carrying the weight. I had to write this down. I don't know if notes always give. That was in July of 2021 or something. I had to write it down. At 5:32 a.m., what would I have been thinking? Because it's here in my notes. Yeah. It says, grief doesn't ever get lighter. We just get used to carrying the weight. And I said to myself, Roddielaw, it's here. If you want to change the world, don't die. I had to write it to myself and say, it's from experience that grief does not ever get lighter. You just have to get used to carrying the weight. So I would say,
you've gotten used to carrying the weight.
I've gotten used to carrying the weight.
You've been able to manage things for yourself.
I don't think that I would say I'm healed, This is something I've been living with. It's there. No matter how hard I try, I'll be in traffic stuck for 4 hours one day, and it will jump back at me that, what am I even doing? Remember one day when this one happened and that one happened. Maybe if my parents were living together, maybe this wouldn't have happened. Maybe I would have had a car, or I would have, those kind of things. Yeah. It would jump back at me. I would something would happen one day, and I would be like, just maybe if my family members loved me, better than they did, if they had shown me love and care and concern, just maybe I would have been able to share some things, and I would have been able to live better and be light, So I don't think I have an answer, to say that, yes, I'm healed now. I'm still in the process. I've just been able to manage my emotions because, trust me, I'm telling you the truth now, Faith. I would have been crying and wailing telling this story. I would have been cut. But this is me owning up and manning up to the fact that I want to change the world. I cannot change the world first. Let me establish that. But I wrote to myself that even if you even want to try to change it, don't die. So this is me having to hold on and not die and be like, whatever it takes, just be human. Just see people the way they are. Don't judge. Help people. Be there for them. And I was a child when all those things happened. I had to now figure and channel my energy to teaching children. So.
Interesting. Saying all of this just reminded me of one of your posts I read on Instagram saying that girl we they call her Shawo don't graduate. And I was like, why do all female dancers or artists who find expression through their art or in a way that makes them feel comfortable has to be projected or be seen as that?
That's, on my Instagram, anyone who's been following me since way back will understand that my Instagram is my diary to an extent. I will not share some things, never ever. I'm like that. But God is my diary. God is the person that I'll tell, this has happened, this has happened, this has happened. I can write some things in my diary, but I can die today and people will open my diary and see it. But there are some things that is just covenants between me and God, right? So whatever I post on my Instagram is organic, is genuine, is my story, it's really, really what happened. I didn't share the fact that I started teaching dance and I'm living my dream until after 1 year. Yeah. That was when I shared it on my Instagram. If you see, that's my current post right now. That's dance teacher at British International School. That thing is like final. Final. Maybe, just maybe, they no go call me Ashawo again. Just because Ashawo cannot teach in a British International School.
Yeah.
You know, get how you want things to happen. Right? I had to read. I had to. You see this place here? My reading table. I had to read. I had to position myself in such a way. I had to position my brand, Roddielaw, because I believe I'm a walking brand.
Definitely.
I had to position myself, Roddielaw, my brand, as this is how you want to be. This is how you are going to be seen. These are the things you're going to be wearing. This is the way you are going to position yourself in this world so that you can get that thing that you've always believed in, that you truly, really, really, really want to be.
Were you making those decisions based on what the world sees that you should be or look like? Were those decisions coming from the influence of what the world see will I say?
Yeah, I think I get
a responsible person. Were you making the decisions from those influences, or it's just because you want to make these decisions and you see the importance of it?
So I'll tell you something today. When I was with my families, all of them thought I was sleeping with men, sleeping with guys, doing all these things. They would even call me when I was in school. They would call me and say they saw a vision that I got pregnant and I don't know who owns the pregnancy and all of that. And all of those times, I was a virgin. I never knew man. Right? So it wasn't from what they said, because if I was going to go by what they were projecting, trust me, I would have been in sync with what they were saying. I would have been the exact thing they were saying. But, when I left home, I've not gotten to that point. Maybe we may get there, but I had to finally run away from home at some point. When I left the house, I gave myself a blank canvas and said, you know what, we're going to draw a new Roddie. In fact, there was a name they used to call me. I had to kill that name and kill that Roddie and say, this is who you're going to be now.
What's that name?
I don't know. I just had to say, this is who you're going to be now, right? That Roddie reminds me of my pain, my this thing, and that. And if I hold on to it, then my grief is not getting lighter. I'm still carrying the weight. So I had to kill it. No, people still call me Roddiah, trust me. So it wasn't by what they were saying at all. Do you see that actual thing that I wrote on my Instagram was because naturally in the dance industry, you're a female. You're already tagged. You're a female dancer rather. You're already tagged Ashewo first. It's already there. Me, at home, before they even knew that I was dancing, there was already some form of she did this, she did that, some judgments and all of that. So the Ashewo was just a word that I used to box every other thing together. Right? It was Ashewo, failure, a disappointment. You can never amount to anything. You okay. I just had to use that word because people can relate to that one.
Yeah.
That's why I had to use that word. It was a phrase of different things that people had called me in my journey. And different things that I've seen in my journey. That's why I had to put it there, like in capital letter, that this person where you talk, say, graduate.
Yeah.
And I wore a very short gown. Because I short. How will I be wearing long and be wearing kineko because of what somebody is saying? I am not going to do that. If I'm comfortable wearing what I want to wear, and I know that I am decent, I am not one of those girls that you see my butt everywhere, you see my this everywhere. No, I won't do it. Not because I cannot. Not because I cannot, oh. I can, but I'm a fine girl. Let's just establish that.
Period.
Like, I'm a spec. I'm a spec.
Louder.
But I won't do it.
Yeah.
Not because I cannot. If I wear clothes for you today. But
Do like this.
I should try
Do
this.
like this. Okay.
But it does not I represent something for children, for people that are people are following me. I never knew you saw my Instagram. I never knew you saw the screenshot that you showed me that time. I never knew. But people are watching, you know. If I was posting my news, that's the same way you would have seen it. And we won't be here doing interview. You will not want to come and interview a nudist, would you? Do you understand? So there's a brand, there's a projection that I want my brand to be. There's who Roddie wants to be. Because I know who I am, I won't do some things. Not because I cannot do them, but because I won't do them. That's just it.
What does the role of mentorship play in your life?
You guys are you're going deep.
Let's dig it.
You guys are going deep, man.
Let's dig it.
You're going deep. Whew. The role of mentorship in my life. The reason a lot of people went through what they went through or what they are going through is so that they can be a channel for other people. So that you can be a torchlight for other people who are in the dark. So that you can point them through and say, this is what you should do. I've been there. So I'm telling you to do this because I've been there, I've experienced this. So instead of you going to experience it, just take its advice and all of that. So the role of mentorship in my experience, in my journey, cannot be, the role of mentorship cannot be swept under the carpet, right? I've had to trust and really rely on a lot of mentors growing up, and one of the people that inspire me was my sister, the person I was living with when I ran away from home. The person that I was living with that I ran from her house.
Wait, the woman you were living with that you ran from her house, was who inspired you?
She was a great inspiration.
Really?
Yes.
Then why did you leave the house?
Do you want us to start another story? I had to leave. I just had to leave because if I hadn't left, we wouldn't be here doing this today.
Okay.
I just had to leave. I want to put it that way. I just had to leave.
Okay.
Right. So she was a great inspiration. You know, the way she cooks, I learned a lot from that. The way she does her things and all of that, you know. And then in my journey, Mrs. Rita is in Waukuru, the founder and lead visionary of Street Project Foundation. She's such a great mentor, like that woman. Nah, mind blowing. Mrs. Rita, Mrs. Eduvie Lawe, she's such a great mentor also. So I would say that I've had to get advice from a lot of people, like these people, and the great mentor of all time will be God, and is God. But God had to send somebody physically to mentor me and to help me navigate through life, knowingly or unknowingly. And that's the man that we live in his house today.
Your dad?
Yep. So he has had to, help me navigate through a lot of things. He'll be like, Roddie, you need to read. If there's anything I know, it's that you need to read. And I'll be like, hey, I need to read. And I've seen the impact of reading, actually. If not, how will I be able to be creating curriculum in dance that people see as just legwork? How would I have been able to do that if I don't read, if I don't research? So it has played a great role in my life. I didn't do it alone. God was a huge mentor, my sister, my dad, and these other people that I've mentioned.
Do you have any other person in the dance industry?
In the dance industry, that's Mr. Segun Adefila was a great mentor. Mr. Segun Adefila. Kafi is a great mentor. Kafi is a great mentor because I was still at her program, Passion to Profit, the other day, learning closely, learning, remotely everywhere, learning from her, picking it, So in dance industry, I've had people that, inspire us, people that inspire you, they're different from mentors. Mentors are people that you've really seen, that you've talked to, yeah. So a lot of people inspire me in the dance industry. Kudu Sonekeku inspires me, like, it inspires the hell out of me. Value inspires me. I have people that inspire me. Lovett Otegbola inspires me. Sarah Bullock inspires me. A lot of people like that inspires me. In the movie industry, Kemi Adetiba, she inspires the hell out of me. Bolanle Austin Peters, she inspires me a lot. All of these people inspire me. Abroad, I can mention. But mentors that I've been able to sit down and talk to and be like, there's something wrong, go. This one, how do I do it? This one, these are the people that I've mentioned. So there's a lot more, but there.
Okay, nice. So I think this is like our second to the last question. So looking ahead, what are your goals and aspiration in your roles as an advocate, educator, therapist, and director? And how do you plan to continue empowering people, women, artists in your work?
My goal is to continue being human. Once humanity is lost, what's it on? I'll use this movie as an example, and I'm not going to go fast. Don't worry, I've been talking so much. This movie that just came out, Ijogbon.
Yeah.
We had 4 friends that they were happy, joyful. I don't know if you've seen the movie. They were happy, they were okay, and all of that. And then they got into one kind of trouble. They saw something, and then it was diamonds, and that diamond became their nightmare. So I saw that movie differently. A lot of people have been asking the Obi girl, why did you throw those diamonds away? And all of that. But I saw it differently. That diamonds took away humanity from them. That love, that happiness, that peace that they were sharing when they were in secondary school. There was a point where they showed that they came out of the school, the classroom, they were just laughing and chattering and happy and all of that. The reason people in this place, where's the name of this place that has water? This place that have water. this
Is it
settlement
Dako
somewhere.
Abe?
No. Morocco or Makoko.
Makoko.
The reason the people in Makoko is as happy as hell as they are right now is because they have humanity, they have love, they have something inside of them.
You think they're
The people
happy?
in Lekki, listen, no, wait, what happiness? The happiness you are thinking is not what I'm saying.
Okay.
The people in Lekki, they are depressed as fuck. Why? Because vanity, they've taken away humanity. What we see as happy is not what they see as happy, right? The reason they are happier is because there is humanity. Humanity is not lost. They are still in check with, like, in touch with humanity. But you see the people in Lekki, I don't even know why I'm using Lekki. Please don't come for me. It's just we have this thing in Lagos where
Class.
you know that the class is there. These ones are these ones. So the other class of people that are living in Lekki don't seem to really, they try to forget humanity. They try to pick vanity over humanity. That is, don't do this with this thing. Oh, I drive a Porsche. Why do I need to be talking to this kind of person? We talk to their this thing anyhow, and they don't understand humanity anymore. The only difference between you and the person, the only difference between you that have a Porsche and the person that doesn't have a Porsche is probably just position or opportunities or time. Actually, right? So, my goal and my aspiration would always be humanity. I don't want to be seen. I only want to be felt. I don't want to be seen. I only want to be felt. I don't want to oh, they saw you somewhere. Come on, did you see what she wore? Did you see that? Did you see the way she taking the cock? I want to be felt. I want conversations that would arise and people would say, it was during dance therapy that I got my healing. It was during the class that she taught that I understood something. It was during this and this and this that I was able to now find the light bulb, the moment when I'm like, oh, okay, it was this. I want to be felt. I want to make impact. I want us to live here and you would say, nah, there was something. Like I got something. I got one or two things, because the life of impact is very precious. But the life of severity is also precious. But if you get what I mean.
Yeah, I get you.
It's the reason some people are sons. It's the reason some people, God carries some people in his head like this. And God also carries some people on his lap. If he wants to stand up, the one on the head is on the head. The one on the lap will fall first. So, if we start thinking of looking forward to humanity, looking forward to helping people, looking forward to, I want to give some instances, but we'll sleep here again, looking forward to just, like, there's nothing in this life. Maybe if we start seeing it that way first, maybe some things will change. Like, there's nothing. When, for example, if your parents die, God forbid, I don't know if your parents are still like that, or if you have anybody that dies, nobody go back to think about, so I bought my dad a car. I bought my dad a car, or I did this for this one, or I did that for that one. But it is those things that they did not do that pains them the most too. I hope you know that there are days when they will not be like, if I had known, I should have just given Momsi that thing.
Or just be there for Momsi.
I should have just been there when he was in the hospital. Nothing pains you more than having to go to the hospital to go and check somebody, or somebody has been calling you that they're in the hospital, that you should please come, and you're sending them selfies, and you're doing selfie, and you're doing video call, and you're showing them, and then they're telling you that this is this, and they cannot feel your presence. They now call you later and they tell you that the person is dead. You'll not be like, if I had known, I should have taken the next flight, even if you're not in the country, or I should have just gone to the hospital to see this person. I should have just, that's humanity. That's feeling, that's impact. But we live in a world where we are distracted. There's a lot of distractions, there's a lot of these things these days and all of that and all of that. So
Yeah.
my goal will always be humanity first.
Mm.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of young girls who are also in this world of distraction. So I would like you to give an advice with your experience of all the challenges you've gone through and how you've been able to like balance things out for yourself. So like, I'd like you to give an advice to girls out there who are trying to find their passion or trying to find their means of expression or use their gift as a tool to either make a means or inspire people or just grow. What advice do you have for them?
The only advice that I would give, and because it is the only advice, there are a lot of things that are, what's the word? There are a lot of things that are intertwined with that advice, with that only advice. And that's only advice is seek God in everything you're doing. See, it takes spiritual maturity to understand the purpose of your suffering. Did you get that? It takes spiritual maturity to understand the purpose of your suffering, to understand your challenges, to understand the reason you were raped, to understand the reason life is not going well with you, to understand the this, the that. It takes spiritual maturity. And the reason I said this advice has a lot of things inside of it is, in your process of seeking God, you will have to do some activities. You have to do some things. You would have to pray. You would have to just give your life like solely like Baba, now your hand I did, kind of thing, right? If I did not seek God in everything that I did, I would have wasted away, and I would have been justified. Because if people now eventually hears the story, they'll be like, actually, what do you expect? Of course now. You couldn't have survived it, But because I always, every minute, every second of the way, I'm always seeking God, no matter how bad it is. And then it comes back to the reason you asked me that, so why did you leave your sister's place? If she, was inspiring me, I feel like it was part of the journey for me. I had to leave so that I can fully express the gifts and the God-given talents that He has given to me. That's why I said, if I hadn't left, we wouldn't be here doing this today. You won't see the significance in what I'm doing. I may have been doing it, but I would have been doing it as a mommy's boy, a mommy's girl, or I'll just be lounging. The impact won't be there. The passion won't be there. The remembrance, those things that I remember, all those things that I went through that I remember. I don't even want to go into the challenge of what I felt after I left. There's still some form of, they beat you, finish, they will still give you food. Nobody can they beat you again, you can't see food. Another challenge entirely, right? Those kind of things. I don't even want to go into that. But I'll say it again, it takes spiritual maturity to understand the reason for your suffering.
Word. So we understand that one of the legacy and impact you want to leave in this world is to empower, to inspire people. What other legacy or impact would you like to keep in this world for people to remember you as?
Okay, so other than remembering Roddie for joy, she's funny, I'm even serious in these interviews. I'm wondering why. Maybe because we're talking about deep things. So aside remembering Roddie for woman of impact, she's very fierce, she's ambitious, she's a goal-getter, she's driven, passionate, and all of that. I want everybody to remember me as godly. Yeah. Godliness is something that you can, if you remove godliness from my from me, you know, as a person. You've removed me. Like there's nothing left, right? So I want everybody to remember me as godly. Like she did a lot of things. She impacted lives. She served humanity. She helped children grow. She helped people find their passion. She helped ladies. She helps women. She helps men. She helps people. But she held on to God. She was spiritually mature. She knows what she was doing. She knows who she was in Christ. She understands, you know, her position as a son of God. So that's one thing I want people to remember.
Thank you very much for
Thank you.
giving us this opportunity and opening up to our mic. We really appreciate it. Look forward to seeing your work and what you're all about.